One of the less understood aspects of Chabad Hasidism is the Rebbe. Because for many people, the general idea of a head rabbi, a leader of a movement, it's easily understood. Of course, all organizations need a leader. But the love and attention, the reverence that Chabad Hasidim give the Rebbe is beyond the comprehension of many. For them, it sounds a little bit cultish. And this question of why we actually need a Rebbe is the precise theme of this week's Parashat Korach. Because Korach challenges Moshe with the following argument. Ki kol ha'edah kulam kedushim. All the people of the community are holy, and God is still with them. Why are you getting yourselves above God's congregation? Korach asked Moshe and Aaron. Korach's argument is simple and compelling, because a basic premise of Judaism is that we're all created in God's image. We believe that everyone has a divine soul, and by virtue of that principle, we all have direct access to Hashem at any time we choose. Good question. However, Korach's mistake was not understanding how Judaism defines a leader. Because the reason we need a leader, a Moses, in each generation is because of our egos. They get in the way of feeling our beautiful divine soul within us, our inner holy truth. So Hashem gives us a Moshe, a leader, an authentically righteous person, a selfless and humble teacher who will show us who we really are and who we can become. In other words, a Rebbe, a leader, Moshe, connects us with ourselves. He shows us how to discover and actualize the godly spark within us. And Korach didn't understand that Jewish leadership is not about power. It's about empowering those a leader serves. As the late Jonathan Sachs, alav shalom, famously said, most leaders make followers. A Rebbe makes leaders. You know, there was a young man from England, he was called Freddie Hagar. I knew him personally. And when he came to the Rebbe to meet him for the first time, he describes feeling profoundly overwhelmed by the encounter. And he walked out of the Rebbe's office and he told those people that were standing outside, they had a totally wrong idea of what meeting the Rebbe was. He said like this, I thought I'm going to meet a great rabbi in New York. Instead, I met myself. And this is why in Chabad we look up to the Rebbe so much. Because the Rebbe is the epitome of selflessness. Concerned only for others. It was never about him. It was always for us. He worked all hours of the day. He never took a holiday or time for himself. The Rebbe traded his privacy and home life and gave everything for others. He taught the deepest Torah, speaking in public for hours without ever asking for royalties, recognition, or copyright. I think it would be right to suggest that many people are so skeptical about the love we Chabad have for the Rebbe simply because they never met someone who was so truly selfless. From politics to business, from sports, entertainment, these so-called leaders today, they're almost always driven by ambition, enabling them to climb the leadership ladder. We're so used to politicians who run around the country, vote for me, leaders who are desperate for media attention. But Parashat Korach teaches us leadership is not about power grabs and backroom connections to make millions. A true leader is defined not by what he has, but what he gives. And this is why I strive to remain connected to the Rebbe and his teachings to discover myself. So as we mark the Rebbe's 30th Elul this coming Tuesday, let's remember that in the Rebbe's presence, in 770 or in the Ohel, even 30 years later, you leave empowered, you leave knowing that you matter, that you have an indispensable contribution to make in this world. Wishing you Shabbat Shalom.